Now let's turn to Matthew Walker, Managing Director of S2G Ventures, for his perspective.
Hello, my name is Matthew Walker. I'm a Managing Director at S2G Ventures. We are a food system-focused venture fund based in the US in Chicago, Illinois. We're a mission-based fund, and a core pillar of our thesis is that the consumer is changing the food system. The new food consumer cares more about and is more knowledgeable about the quality and sourcing of ingredients that go into the foods that they eat. They think of food as a health and wellness tool. They also consider the impact their food choices make on a broader set of constituencies, including the environment, animal health, and of course, human health. This consumer is voting with their pocketbook in favor of food systems that promote these values for human and environmental health. And we at S2G invest in businesses across the food supply chain that align with those values and hopefully promote a healthier and more sustainable food system. We invest in everything from upstream agriculture, soil health, pest controls. We're in production and processing. We're in data and trading. We're in insurance. We're in supply chain technologies, ingredients, consumer packaged goods, a couple fast casual restaurant concepts, and even some in-home kitchen technologies. So we invest across the chain. We make seed, venture, and growth investments. We're happy to lead or take follow-on positions. And we're a collaborator. We've worked with hundreds of different co-investment and syndicate partners, many of them strategics, across the supply chain. We currently have more than 50 companies, active companies within our portfolio. Notable agri-food trends. One of the things that we're excited about at S2G is food as medicine, or the convergence of food and medicine. We see the market shifting somewhat away from superfood or hero ingredients that promote general health and wellness, and toward ingredients that treat specific medical issues or promote specific benefits. As an example, we recently made an investment into a company called Solaria, and they have a food-based solution which is a defined microbial assemblage that targets specific conditions. Their first product is in osteopenia and osteoporosis treatment, and this is a natural food-based innovation that will be backed by clinical study. We see the market moving toward a new wave of food-based solutions that show real efficacy as healthcare interventions, and we're certainly excited about that. Another area that I think is a perpetual concern is labor. Anything that can help with labor or automation in the specialty and produce space. This isn't about replacing labor as much as it is about a lack of consistently available labor for harvest and the like in certain markets. So technologies that speak to that problem are something we're always looking at. Another area is on-demand breeding. Can we create food products that meet a specific customer's needs for nutrition, supply chain fitness and shelf life, or consumer-facing benefits such as taste, color, aromatics, things that can differentiate a product on the shelf? I think we're moving away from yield-based genetics toward outcome-based traits, things that the consumer's looking for on the shelf that can help differentiate a product and really drive value toward the retailer or the producer, grower, packer, shipper. Another area somewhat related is controlled environments. And this is about surety of supply in the leafy space, in the produce, and I think eventually in the meat space. Can we grow our food in a way that is more consistent and allows for fewer or no pest controls and generally entails less variability because we're shielded from nature? I think we've already seen a lot of investment and innovation in the growth systems themselves, but we're starting to see much more interest and investment in the actual infrastructure. And we think we'll see quite a few more of these facilities coming online in the near future. The impact of COVID-19. Obviously, during the pandemic, we saw a massive shift away from out-of-home eating toward in-home eating. And that resulted in a virtual elimination of revenue in some of the out-of-home channels and a significant spike in revenue from grocery and direct-to-consumer channels. What we've seen is this has certainly been incredibly disruptive in many ways, But one of the things that's interesting is a significant acceleration of customer trial and adoption for these direct-to-consumer grocery and food delivery channels. Most of the population was not doing its grocery shopping online prior to COVID-19. And many people had access to it, but didn't think it was for them. And what we've seen is a significant portion of those people are now trying these digital solutions and delivery channels. And we believe, some non-zero portion of that group will in fact like grocery delivery and remain a user after the threat from the pandemic wanes. More broadly speaking, we see a lot of the trends toward digital or online grocery and food that were beginning before COVID have now been accelerated significantly by this market surge they've received during the pandemic. And we believe some portion of that surge will remain as more and more customers get comfortable with digital channels during this time. Another thing we've seen is obviously a lot of food waste and focus on food loss and shelf life extension technologies. I think it's never been more clear that the food system is critical infrastructure. And we see a wider variety of investors now interested in the space, given how it's performed during the pandemic. The Israeli innovation landscape is exciting to us for a number of reasons. We see such a well-developed ecosystem and network of innovators in Israel. We like to make investments in businesses that are backed by real science and that can have a real chance of getting protectable intellectual property. And we see the Israeli market and its strong track record of producing leading technology companies as a great place to find these companies and to maintain a network. We are looking to impact global trends in global markets. And we find that the Israeli startup ecosystem has excellent global networks and a focus on many of the issues impacting the food system today that we look for at S2G Ventures. We've made one investment to date in Israel into a company called Future Meat Technologies, and we are extremely impressed with that team's progress and the leadership led by Ram Shuk and Yaakov Namias. And we're excited to continue to build networks and continue to look for companies in the Israeli ecosystem.